From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
What's going on, nerds, and welcome to this special edition of the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. Last night and Saturday night were both WrestleMania Part 1 and Part 2, but we're going to talk about it now. With me today, we're going to save him for the last introduction. It's Mr. Bloodline himself, though. What's going on, TJ, Mr. Trivia winner?
Hey, pal. Not a whole lot. Just enjoyed one heck of a wrestling weekend, and
I did.
Glad to come here and talk with you guys this evening.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, but let's bring in the wrestling guru himself, Mr. Ryan Fry.
Good evening. This is going to be fun. I'm going to make a lot of people mad, but it's going to be fun.
Well, honestly...
Probably me. Right here, this guy. Mad.
What's effed up, because Ryan, TJ, and myself are all in the same group chat, and we were talking the whole time about it. And I'm literally almost in the same boat as Ryan, but let's start it off with night one as I switch back over to the Discord. We're not going to cover everything. We're going to hit big points throughout the night, and we're going to start off with that Theory and Cena match. I kind of wish it was a little longer, and I wished they gave them a little more time to shine. You obviously had Cena go through his, 5 moves of doom and everything, and that was one hell of a pop for a 5-knuckle shuffle. I've never heard it that loud before. But what are your thoughts on the match, Ryan? What did you want to see from it, or was it right at expectation?
To me, it seemed like Cena lost a lot of steps. He was very slow, to me, and then I don't. John Cena is a very unorthodox wrestler in general, but when you don't wrestle for however long, I guess it was New Year's or whatever, he wrestled for 15 minutes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He was off, and Theory played that match very well. I was very impressed with Austin Theory. Cena talks too much in his match. He has to talk it through. And I think it threw Austin off because I don't think Theory's used to that. But like you could see in the match so many times where Cena would stop to talk to him, to walk through things, and it just made the match kind of almost like a start and stop type match. It just didn't flow to me. Didn't flow like a match should. Cena letting Austin get a lot of heat on him was a great move. The 5-knuckle shuffle, like you said, that was a big pop, but it's John Cena and it's in LA. I think he's kind of got to figure out that if he's going to wrestle, he needs to do more than just a one-off. He needs to come back like a week or 2, 3 weeks before and work a whole program, not just do his promos, because John Cena doesn't need to cut promos. He's good enough. Everybody knows John Cena can cut promos. But he needs to work, and he needs to be a little bit more cleaner, clean it up a little bit. We can. The bald spot shows he's getting older, and I understand that. And it's definitely when the T-shirt came off, it was not the John Cena we're all used to size-wise. He's got to figure out how to adjust to that, or this won't work, and nobody will ever believe if there's a chance for him to get 17.
I don't think he's gonna get 17. TJ, do you have any thoughts on the Theory and Cena match?
I mean, let's be honest, time has never lost. John Cena didn't look like superhero John Cena. John Cena looked like average Joe John Cena. The match, I mean, it for what it needed to be was okay. Like Ryan said, he hit all the bullet points. It just wasn't what could have been a John Cena match by any means necessary, but it was still a good John Cena match.
Yeah, it's like seeing Guns N' Roses or Journey back in the day versus seeing them now. They're still hitting. They're still doing the hits, but it's not the same stuff as it was back in the 80s.
Yeah, the words slur together and you really can't make out what they're saying anymore.
Yeah. Okay, now we're going to go to a highly controversial match because a lot of people didn't want to see him, and he's got a lot of go-away heat. We're going to go with Seth Rollins in the Logan Paul match now. Ryan, what were your initial thoughts of this match? How did you think it play out? And was it a good match?
It was a fantastic match. I would say up until the match we're going to cover here next, it was probably the match of the night going into that match. If you don't, I'm not one to know a whole lot of YouTube stars, and the Paul brothers, okay, fine, they do their thing. I don't really know a whole lot about them, but if you don't think that Logan Paul was made for professional wrestling, you've completely missed the ball on that. That kid worked a promo with Rollins, played the heel character this time, and played it well. And in ring wise, I don't care if he studies and does the match for 6 months straight before we actually see it. That's what he's got to do to put on shows like that. More power to him.
Well, how long did Macho Man and Steamboat rehearse that match at WrestleMania 3?
There was no rehearsal for that. It was all written out on paper, and that's all you did.
Okay, well, how?
But I mean, like you get the guys like Taker and all them guys that take long sabbaticals. They get a ring and then they do their stuff at home and get good at it. I mean, Logan Paul doesn't have the ability to go to house shows.
Yeah.
Is that a mark against him for most people? Yes, because he's not earning his dues. But the dude's had 4 matches,
and they've all been bangers.
And they've all been outstanding. Whether it's somebody carrying him through it or not, he's still the one doing it. And I don't care who you are. I don't see anybody else jumping off the top rope going through the table, the announcer's table. That's a hard spot nowadays.
How about the Royal Rumble spot?
Yeah, with him and Ricochet.
Oh yeah.
My. It's just he puts on amazing matches. Do I want to see him in a championship picture? Probably not. He needs to be more there for that situation. But you just said Ricochet. Do I want to see him versus Ricochet? Yes. Do I want to see him versus Montez Ford? Yes. Do I want to see him against other ones? Sure, why not? He's already faced Roman, Seth. Miz will work with any. Miz is the best heel worker in WWE.
I think Miz is one of the best workers, period.
True.
Period.
Miz would have found a way to work with Shane last night.
Yes.
Well, he was. Shane's knee didn't want to work.
Where does Logan go from here? Who knows? But the other side of that, Seth Rollins is without a doubt. I know there's been talk and there's been things about him being upset and aggravated with WWE's booking of things. There's no doubt in my mind that Seth Rollins is next in line again. I think that'll be the way they go with him beating Logan Paul this time. Keep in mind, him and Roman, their only match during this whole thing has been a disqualification win for Seth.
Yeah.
I can easily see Seth being launched right back up into that title picture and be a main event guy. He's so over. There's not one person besides maybe Sammy and Cody. Cody and him are so close together. I can see why that creates the tension that it does between the two. But they are the 3 biggest over faces.
We see you, chat, by the way. We see you.
In wrestling.
Nerdtainment. What's going on, pal? He says you can't teach swagger. He's referring to Logan Paul. And then he says Miz is the man. Yeah. For everybody wondering, hit that like button, subscribe. If you subscribe and wait a minute, you can come talk to us. TJ, what do you got for the Logan Paul Seth Rollins match? Pretty much the same question I asked TJ. Brian, Derp.
I want to say AJ.
That says Guru. Don't forget it. Ooh. That's TJ. That's TJ Uso down there.
That's right. I am the biggest fan of an entertainer. I don't care who you are, what you're doing. If you can entertain me, I'm in on you. I like what you're doing. Logan Paul has entertained at every moment, whether you've liked him or not. I don't have a bad thing to say about the guy. I don't know his YouTube history. I've been told he's not a good dude, supposedly, but everything I see him in, whether it's his podcast, it entertains
Oh my
me.
god, his podcast
This
is hilarious.
sports entertainment. Are you not entertained? Like,
Yeah,
what more does the kid need to do?
I mean, the one guy on his podcast thought Lana Rose and Cody Rhodes were related. That's just money right there.
What more does he need to do to win over? Show
I mean,
up
I
every
could see
night.
the resemblance.
Roman doesn't show up any night. Roman doesn't show up every night anymore. Why does Logan Paul have to?
The problem is you're never going to make everybody happy.
No.
There's going to be people. There's going to be people like you that are completely fine with an entertainer being in a wrestling ring. There's other people that can't stand it, doesn't want to see it, never should happen. That's taking a spot from somebody that's worked their ass off to get there with their spot. Well, if the guy ain't drawing what that guy's drawing, that's why he's in the back, and that's why Logan Paul's in the ring. At the end of the day, this is a business. You have to make money. Dolph Ziggler is one of the best workers in WWE. He doesn't draw. I'm sorry, he doesn't. He doesn't draw. Why? Because every time he gets the opportunity, he gets hurt or he gets knocked out with a concussion. That happened when he was the world champ. He was the world champ for a week and was done because he wasn't reliable enough injury-wise. Not his fault, but it's the facts of the matter. If you can't draw money, you're not going to get on the card.
So we got anything else for Seth Rollins and Logan Paul? I thought the match was phenomenal. I thought it was cool how they incorporated the big juice can.
That's prime, AJ.
That's prime. It's a very good drink. I'll give him that. And you can ask TJ because I actually drove up to Vermont and watched night one with TJ.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
When the bottle came out with him, I swore it was Jake.
Yes,
again,
it's got to be Jake.
Jake. I didn't know his YouTube stuff, so I didn't know who KSI is. I'm not hip with the world pop culture or whatever. But I
still don't know who KSI
it made more
is.
money. If it was Jake, it would have been a bigger pop, I believe. And it would. I think what they'll end up doing is this could lead to some kind of a tag match with Logan and KSI against Seth, or it could be a handicap match. Either way, I loved. Then we have to talk about it. Seth Rollins' ring gear was awesome. It was one of the best outfits I've ever seen in my entire life. That
was
thing, his
Brian,
cape.
who was he? When he came out, what'd you say? Who'd you say he looked like?
You have to refresh my memory.
Double J, baby.
Yeah, well, yeah, I did see the internet pop and give him the double J. He had the 6-stringer, the vest on, but that robe was over the top. The pink tights were lit. As colorblind as I am, the pink tights popped. It was awesome.
The pink tights were so pink, the colorblind dude was able to see them.
Shut up.
So let's go into the Charlotte and Rhea match, and for me, this was the match of night one. This was, I felt, the best match night one. Not the best storytelling match of night one, this is my opinion, but the best actual physical match of night one. Rhea Ripley goes over Charlotte Flair, and can we talk about some of those German suplexes where Charlotte over rotates and lands on her face several times? Especially
that was scary.
The one off the top rope, and then the one
where Rhea holds her hands on the German and she takes her nose and eats the mat with it.
Yeah, she was cut.
Is that? I believe that's the one that made the abrasion, right?
Yeah, she had ring rash.
That looked like it hurt. I was actually scared with those because she didn't move right away. Like she went like full like limp, and I was just.
Yeah. For me, this was the best match maybe on the card for all of it. I thought the storytelling for the match was perfect. The slow start works for me. Once and I'll get into this tirade a little later. The slow start worked for me. The fast paced thing did not need to happen for as big as this match was. It was a good play off of their previous WrestleMania match where you could tell Rhea was confident in this match. The first match, Rhea wasn't confident. You could tell. It was a great match, the first one. This one was even better.
Mm-hmm.
The slow build to the excitement with the finish, the false finishes were fine with me. I believe Charlotte's gonna take a little bit of time away, which is fine. She deserves it. And to the ones that don't like it, she just proved again why she is the very best. No matter whatever they put in front of her, she is the very best female wrestler in any organization. She makes everybody better when she's in the ring with them, no matter who they are. Even when it was Bailey or Becky or that money girl or whatever the hell her name is now, she makes everybody better. She may come out on top, but she makes everybody better every time she's in the ring with somebody.
TJ, what do you got, pal?
I just laughing. I believe he was talking about Mercedes Moné.
That how you say it?
I think
Mercedes
it's
whatever.
Sasha Banks. It's Sasha Banks.
It felt so weird seeing Snoop Dogg, and I'm like, oh, he's at a WrestleMania. I wonder what he feels about his niece. Is it his niece, cousin?
I think it's a cousin.
I wonder how he feels that he's here and she's like over in Japan or something.
He's
that's
something
what happens
she's
when
not.
you mess up.
He's something she'll never be.
Relevant?
Hall of Famer?
Hall of Famer.
No, I mean, I have always been the biggest critic of Charlotte Flair because I hate how she gets the Ric Flair treatment with all the title reigns. But Fry is not wrong at any point with what he says that she makes everyone around her better. She will make you look good if you're not making yourself look good. Charlotte is if she didn't have the greatest teacher in the world to watch and bounce ideas off of growing up to where she is now, I mean, Rick is Rick and Charlotte will be Charlotte. I don't think anyone's going to question me if I say that, she's a future Hall of Famer like her father.
What is she already at, like 11? 12?
She's at 13.
She's at 13?
I mean, first time, first Diva champion when they changed it over. Well, not first time Diva, but first.
He was the last Diva,
first women's. I mean, it's just Charlotte did all the things. She won pay-per-views and she has her accolades.
But
she gets that treatment of I don't like her because she wins so goddamn much.
The reason she has the title reign she has is because they had to make those belts mean something. And to me, when
matter
trading them back and forth like her and Sasha did, that belt builds both of them up to a higher level above the other females in that division. That belt getting traded back and forth doesn't mean that one's better than all. It means they are on the same level. I've never understood that when people say, well, I hate when the belt gets handed around too much. If you have a top echelon group of wrestlers, they should be able to beat each other on any given night and be able to trade that belt back and forth. If they can't, then they don't belong to be on that top level. But that level, there should be people on the same level. Otherwise, it's not believable when somebody takes a belt off of somebody.
Did Muhammad Ali win every fight? No. Muhammad Ali lost fights too. He's the greatest of all time in his industry, right? People lose. It happens. Belts can be swapped around.
As long as it's done right, absolutely. If you're just playing hot potato like they do with the 24/7 title, then I have an issue with it.
Well, and that's why that title's a joke.
But I'm saying they've done that with the Intercontinental Championship. They've done that with the U.S. Hell, they probably.
But it's good when they have that group of people that can trade it back and forth. But then you have that one guy that branches out from that group and takes the belt and runs with it, and then nobody can beat him.
Like Miz.
Or they can't beat him.
Like Miz.
Like Miz's. Yeah. That makes the title more valuable when there's more people that are more believable to win that belt, and then that one guy figures out the magic formula, and then nobody can. He keeps getting win after win and keeps the belt, and then it's like, oh, okay, maybe that guy's not ready for that belt. Let's roll in some more people.
So let's talk about
this, and then later on, I'm gonna piss everybody off with the other part.
I'm here for it. I got my popcorn. Let's talk about the main event of night 1 on Saturday. The Usos versus Sami and Kevin for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships. TJ, I'll let you take first cracks with this one. How'd you like the match? How'd you like the story? Where do you think they're going to go with the Usos now?
I mean, I think the story for the Bloodline going forward now is, well, they lost the titles. Can you get them back?
Because we got a half hour before Raw starts, and we're finishing this before Raw starts.
The story for them going forward is, can the Usos get it back? Can they get revenge? That's everybody. It's a good revenge story. The match was amazing. I loved it. It was a great cap to the evening. It wasn't the best match, but damn, was it good. You could see the emotion in Kevin. He put his heart and his soul into that match. Sami is Sami and I think people could watch Sami paint a wall white and it would be over right now. The dude is just money.
As long as he's got like a Bob Ross foe on.
A Sami foe would be. The match was good. I loved it. All
right, Ryan.
I hate they lost, but I loved it. Okay.
It was what it was. It was a great match. Great build, great match. It didn't go overboard with anything that out of the ordinary for being a match. Sami and KO are so close as friends that they're almost like brothers. So that was almost like brothers versus brothers. It'll be interesting to see where they go from this. But yeah, it'll be interesting.
So I thought it was a fantastic match. I thought the storytelling was phenomenal, and with the Usos losing, I in back of my brain I was like, so tomorrow does Jay turn on Roman? Is this what happens?
The only thing I didn't like, and it's just because of how much I love the old business.
Mm-hmm.
The Usos use the 1D, which is the 3D. That move by itself was so protected by the Dudley Boys that I think only one person ever kicked out of it. And I'm hoping we don't see a trend now where everybody's kicking out of it and they let KO be the only one that kicked out of the 1D. Because I don't think anybody else has kicked out of it since they started using it.
I don't think so either.
Because it's been when it happens, it's a done deal. It's over with type situation. So I'm kind of want to see where that goes. I don't think you're going to get a J turn. I don't think you can tease what was before WrestleMania and then turn around and do another is he going to turn angle. That is the same storyline that we just had from Elimination Chamber to Mania.
But that's the thing. We're all wrestling fans. That is the stuff our brains think of when stuff like this happens. Like, it literally spider webs into, well, if that just happened, so then that could happen, or that could happen, or then it's spider web and then spider web. But I got a cool scenario. I'll talk about it at the end of the night 2 conversation we have, which we're going to be jumping to night 2. Because I doubt it's going to happen. I thought it was freaking cool. I like the idea of it. Don't know how they would kind of storytell it into existence. But let's get into night 2 before we get into night 2. I'm AJ. You got TJ and Ryan. Huge wrestling fans. Ryan's the wrestling guru. TJ is really good at trivia. Like, stupid good at trivia. Like, had us all fooled that he was going to lose. And then knocked it out of the park. But we're going to get into night 2. Hit that like button and subscribe. It starts off with Brock versus Omas. Did anybody else be surprised that this was actually as entertaining as it as it was. I just really love how Brock looks like he's having fun. And when Brock is having fun, all his stuff has been better. Ryan, go for it.
I agree with that statement. This match, I wasn't. You can't go. This match got so many uhs, and when it was announced, that I was praying that it was going to be Shane and AJ from a couple years ago, where everybody's like, "Why is AJ in a match with Shane? It's going to be bad," and it was probably the best match on the card. Brock worked with Omas. As much of an ego as Brock Lesnar has, he worked with him and he made him look good. Brock showed, hey, when I want to work, I can work. I don't have to always be 3 German suplexes and one F5 and it's over with. I can take some damage from other people, other not named Undertaker or Roman Reigns.
Or Goldberg.
Forgot about him. Brock made Omas last night. He didn't bury him. I know there's a lot of people claiming, oh, he got buried again. He didn't get buried. He looked strong as strong can be. They have made it that F5 is what it's supposed to be, a finisher. It's a finisher. When it's put on, it's over with. When it's not a main event match or that kind of stuff, you can't expect false finishes every single match. And I was thoroughly impressed with Brock. And to see as old as he is, I mean, let's not be shy about it. Brock's mid-40s. He used to be able to pick up Big Show pretty easily in F5ing. I wasn't really sure if he was going to be able to get Omos up. The first time he didn't get him up, I think he was selling his back. The second time he got him up, that looked like Brock of old.
TJ, what do you got?
I mean, Fry talked about it with Brock. I mean, let's not sell short the fact Brock Lesnar doesn't lose a lot of fights. I mean, who has beat Brock Lesnar? Let's say the last 5 years: Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley,
and Seth.
Well, and Seth, but that was, I think that story was Brock. I think didn't value Seth.
No, that's why that match went on first at WrestleMania.
Right, so that was the story there. And I mean, storyline wise, maybe it humbled Brock. And now we have Cowboy Brock, and we're all better for it because Cowboy Brock's fun.
Cowboy
Brock is awesome. Cowboy Brock picked up a ring with a tractor and made us all feel giddy little kids again with what we were seeing because it was spectacle. We love this Brock Lesnar.
We got wrestling over everything in the chat. Oh boy.
Why do we gotta hate him over a 7-minute match with another big dude? We love big meaty men slapping meat, right?
No, that's the next. That's next match, not this match.
Still, though, I mean, these are still two behemoths. I mean, it was like the end of the Andre.
It's one
Memorial.
of those. It's one of those situations now where people just have to take Brock Lesnar matches for Brock Lesnar matches. Don't expect 5 stars. Don't expect more than 10 minutes. Enjoy it because eventually it's going to be gone, and I don't see anybody else looking like Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is the Andre of now with the attraction value. People want to go see Brock.
That's a great point, Ryan, and it bothers me because we have somebody we know that if Brock Lesnar's in anything, it's no matter what dog shit. I think we know who I'm talking about.
Well, he doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground, and I'd be more than happy to tell him that.
But my thing is, I'm having this issue because I miss seeing John Cena every week. I miss seeing Shawn Michaels every week, Ric Flair, Triple H. I miss seeing them. So when they come back for whatever they do, I'm like giddy. I'm so excited. And we're seeing it with Brock, and now that Brock is giving us some of the best stuff we've seen in a long time with him, we know, like you said, it's not going to be longer than 5 minutes or 10 minutes. You're not going to see everything you want in a full-fledged wrestling match. But damn, is it going to be entertaining. So let's jump to TJ. For everybody watching at home, you might want to turn down your volume just a little bit because it's going to get loud.
Our next match was Sheamus versus Drew versus
Go Go ahead, TJ.
Somebody, TJ?
The Ring General Boonton!
All right, well, there was your warning. For everybody out there that is watching off of YouTube with Wrestling Over Everything, let us know. Like, subscribe. And how did TJ do with that? Because I think WWE needs to hire him and just play his voice
please.
out.
Yes, please.
I give it a 10.
I give
a 10!
A freaking 10!
Not gonna lie, I was hoping one of you was gonna slip.
No, not right now.
I thought we were going to, and then I heard him say freak, and then I was like, okay, I can finish saying what I was saying. But TJ, since you do the very great Gunther introduction, tell us how awesome this match was, because I thought this was probably the
night two match to beat. I mean,
yeah, at the point, yes.
That Intercontinental title is on the right person right now because that belt is the matches that belt is producing with the talent around it are beyond phenomenal. I'm saying it now. I'm getting in early. Gunther is a future champion at the highest level, and he's building a resume to get there that makes everyone know that when he does, it was legitimate. You can't argue it. I didn't know who he was. NXT UK, I'm like, who is this guy?
Mm-hmm.
Now that he's on the main roster, I'm like,
he slimmed
dude,
down.
I know who this guy is. I know who this guy is. This guy is scary. And he's not afraid to come out and be like, hey, I'm going to beat you. And there's nothing you can do about it. But you can try, but I'm going to win. And I don't hate it.
I could possibly see him still have that Intercontinental Championship and stare off against Roman. Not saying they're going to fight, but just I'm here. Don't put your guard down.
For anyone that knows, a remember me moment.
Ryan, talk about the match, pal.
This was a slugfest. These three guys beat the living shit out of each other. And everybody loved it. I mean, Titus O'Neil on commentary was talking about how...
When did he become a Hall of Famer?
He's a Warrior Award recipient from like 2 years ago.
I forgot they count that. Okay.
But he said on broadcast, if he would slap me like that, I'd be somebody call 911. I picked wrong on this one. I guess I went with my heart, which I do 90% of the time. That's why I have never won one of our pick-em leagues. I wanted Sheamus to win. But TJ's right. The right person right now has the Intercontinental title.
And it is elevating to a level.
I can see Gunther starting a program with the Bloodline. And I could strongly see the Bloodline costing Gunther the Intercontinental title versus somebody like Solo.
And
that's what I see.
And that's when Gunther goes after Roman.
And then Gunther goes after Roman. I got a feeling Money in the Bank will be Roman versus Gunther. It's in London. I have a feeling that's what your main event.
Who do we have winning Money?
That could be a whole different podcast. We ain't got enough time for that.
Because I was saying Gunther could win Money.
We ain't got 18 minutes for that. We ain't got 18 minutes for that.
Yeah, that could get we could go so many different ways. I mean, there's a certain guy that I know, kind of a local guy. Yeah.
Oh God, him too. Yeah. Oh Jesus.
Yeah. Who I was very kind of disappointed he wasn't in some sort of segment over the weekend. But that's besides the point.
Oh God, he's gonna turn into.
This was great.
Daniel Bryan. Yeah. But, no.
All right. That's next match was Edge versus the Demon.
Oh.
Hell in a Cell.
This was. If you thought the Intercontinental Championship was a brutal match, this doesn't do a lot of choppy, but does a lot of bleedy. Metal projectiles that aren't supposed to be thrown and connect to human flesh were thrown and connected to human flesh. And that was a lot of blood. And it made it a little hard to see because of the...
Have you seen the photos?
I've seen the pictures.
It's a 4-inch slice on the top of his head.
I didn't know he
The
was
ladder-
bleeding right away because it was blending into everything.
Well,
It
yeah.
wasn't until he went to the mat where you saw blood everywhere. It was like, well, wait a minute. There's blood on the ladder. There's blood on the.
for people
and-
that don't know ladders, they're sharp. They're not exactly like rounded. They're sharp.
Yeah,
to
they
catch
don't
your
have
boobs.
they don't have tape around them. They're metal. This worked. If there was any match where a hard getting juiced the hard way, this worked perfectly for this match.
Mhm.
I mean, and it's
I
funny
think it
how
might have been a little too perfect because they had to staple the man inside the ring.
yeah, I mean they cut away so they could pop 5 staples into his head so he could keep going.
I don't even want to know what that feels like.
It sounds like click
grab
click click click.
grab a staple gun,
no.
AJ, and just.
Well, you got to think about it. Adrenaline's pumping, which means your blood's
Oh, yeah.
pumping.
Yeah.
which
this
means it's coming
match-
out your head.
This match didn't do a lot for me. I understood, and one of the things that drove me nuts is we'll go back to the colorblind thing, but they changed the cell back to silver. Great. Why the hell do you make the tools under the ring purple and red? I get it, it's Demon versus Edge, but it was so like, oh, he pulls out like 6 kendo sticks that are multiple colors. It's like, who pulled the crayons out of the crayon box? It just that didn't work for me. I didn't like the finish. I don't see a reason why Edge needed to beat Finn this time. I mean, to build, yes, I understood it, but to finish this story, I feel like Finn needed to win more than Edge did.
As I voted that way.
And
Yeah.
the Demon losing. That's the
Yeah,
thing
I mean,
That
this
bothers
is-
me.
It's like
Yeah.
the first time the Demon's lost in WWE. I know that he's lost in NXT, I believe.
Yeah, his last match.
I didn't fact check that one, but yeah, it just
Yeah.
didn't. It kind of, I mean, yeah, it turned into a hardcore Hell in a Cell match, which is the shocking part was they stayed in the cell. That shocked me more than anything.
I'd be curious to see what extra they would have done if they didn't have to do what they did to Finn. Because I feel like they might have expedited some of the match.
And that's a prime example of an old school wrestler. That referee looked at Edge and said, I need a minute. You need to buy me a minute. And Edge bought them a minute. That's very Owen Hart, Stone Cold, SummerSlam 97. Owen, he can't move, buy us some time situation. And that worked out great.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I
Wait,
mean, all
buy us a
all
minute.
he did was
Let's
get
go
out
get
of
the
the ring
toys.
and go like, yeah.
Let's go get the toys.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Did he use any of what he went and got? I don't think so.
Just the kendo sticks, I thought.
Not really, right? But I mean, like, literally, he just went and killed time while they're like nonchalantly putting 5 staples in the man's head.
Yeah.
They even had to open the cell, which I don't think a lot of people realize to get those people in.
See, I thought there was
Stapled
always
his
a
head.
medic under the ring when they were Hell in the Cell matches. I thought I was wrong.
The ladder spot was not planned. Like, that was by pure accident, and you see it in the way he takes that ladder to the head, and his head goes dunk.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have swore my mouth off. I'm good for Finn to, fuck! But let's go to the main event of night 2, the match everybody
Let's-
was looking
hold on.
forward
Let's-
to.
There's one that we missed. Let's quickly talk about Dom versus Ray. That was a fun match to watch.
I got goosebumps.
The
Viva la
entrance for
raza.
Ray was awesome.
Oh, I got him right now. Oh.
Dom is proving himself worthy of being a top heel
Mhm.
because you can't stand him, and that's what a heel's supposed to do. You're not supposed to like a heel. A heel is supposed to be somebody you don't like, and Dom is proving he's done this hard time in prison. He deserves his glory. He got his ass whipped by his daddy. His mom slapped him in the face. It was perfect.
And his
And
sister
Ray-
wanted to go after him.
Yeah, and his sister wanted to kick his ass. I was waiting for the sister to open her jacket up and her have an LWO t-shirt on. That would have been even. That would have put like the cherry on the top of the sundae for me. That would have been funny as all get out. But
I popped
that
so
was
hard.
amazing.
when
That
they-
was an
they came
amazing
running
match. I love Ray's homage to Eddie, but I also love Ray's homage to Muda, which is why he had the 3D thicker mask on, paying homage to Muda, who also in the Hall of Fame this
He
year.
also wore that the next night, being not introducted.
Yeah, he wore
but
like a black version of the same mask, which is very, very cool.
TJ got anything
Vince
for
voice.
Mysterio versus? Yeah, I'm aware.
No, I'm good with it.
All
I think
right.
What was said was said.
Main event, not two. We're gonna start off with who'd you think was going to win?
Did AJ just get Southern?
Did I?
A little bit. Yeah, I think you might have.
Did I really?
Not two. Bacon in here?
He got excited.
I did not
stop.
say Arkansas.
Night 2. Who did I think was gonna win night 2? Do you see what I'm wearing? It wasn't that guy.
Ryan, because you and I have been talking.
You better let T go first, because when I get on this tangent.
Okay, so I will let you go last then.
Yeah. I forgot you have a say in some of this, not just directing it.
Yeah, thanks.
Love you,
TJ,
man.
do the dick shot.
As the fan, I wanted the Cody Rhodes warm fuzzy moment. They sold me on it. They fooled me. They had me. I was good with it. We all know, the three of us all know, during Raw, during SmackDown, who of all of us does this every freaking time these guys come out? It's me. And I was good with him losing, and he didn't. Oh, that frustrates me. They had me. They got me hook, line, and sinker. I wanted Cody to win. It was the warm, fuzzy moment. They got me. I didn't think Roman was going to retain. I thought it was finally going to end, and he didn't.
So
and
I wanted
give it to Fry.
No,
quick.
I'm going real fast.
Quick. I was just saying, give it to Fry quick, because he's got logic. I just don't like it.
So I wanted Cody to win. I've liked what Cody turned into, and I thought it'd be a cool culmination of whatever happens. But the more and more I talk to Fry, the more and more I realize, motherfucker, we're really going to hear Roman's theme song at the end of the night. God damn it. And sure as shit, there was a moment. There was a very quick moment after 2 crossroads. I was like, we've seen this before. We've seen him hit 3, pin, win. And we were about to hit the 3rd one. And then, is that fucking Solo? Oh shit, that is Solo. And I was like, yo, they got me. Dude. And I'm like, oh, this can go many ways. And real fast, how cool would it be? Probably very not possible. Is if they have a 3v3, winning team gets gold. Roman and the Usos, Cody, Kevin and Sammy, winning team gets the gold. At Backlash.
At this point, the bloodline would go over it. Just to keep the belt on Roman.
Like, I thought that would have been a cool freaking idea for a match, because both sides have something. But
yeah,
I do think you are right.
If it was the time for Roman to lose the belt, it makes sense, because then you can have one of the other two take the pinfall, and then they have the heat off of Roman. Roman's mad at them because they lost him the belt. Not the other way around. If Cody and the other two would lose, you would just have Sammy and KO turn on Cody.
I saw TJ's face when I said that, and TJ was like, yo. But Fry, let's go right to you. We have 7 minutes before Raw.
I got 7 minutes.
You got actually
Everybody,
6.
Buckle up, get your popcorn bucket, and get a sippy cup. You ain't gonna like this.
We might not get into the endeavor, but we can do something different on that one. I've been a fan of Cody since he debuted in, unfortunately, John Deere green and yellow trunks on Raw. The 2 biggest influences of me on wrestling are 2 people. Hulk Hogan, and I don't care what anybody says about him, it's Hulk Hogan, and it's Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes is the best person on the microphone I've ever listened to. when Cody showed up, and I was a fan of Dustin too. When Cody showed up, I was like, sweet, I can keep my fandom of the Rhodes family going. I was 100% on board with him winning the belt at first. Then he got hurt. Then they announced he was coming back at the Royal Rumble and entering the Royal Rumble. That storyline has been overplayed for so long between Austin and Hunter and a few other ones that it's just, I knew it wasn't going to happen. I still went with my heart and picked Cody to win on our pick'em, but I knew that Roman was going to win. And it makes sense. It makes sense because Hunter is trying to change the dynamic of the WWE. He's trying to make you pay attention. You can't just there will not be my feeling is you will not see a short storyline for the WWE Universal title, whatever the hell it's called, ever again. They're gonna make you wait. They're gonna drag it on sounds negative. Like he said in his press conference last night, somebody said drag it on, and he said that's a bad term. And it is. This story has, like Roman said, this story's got so many more layers to go. We can go anywhere with it.
He said we're in the third inning.
Yeah.
And if that's correct,
Roman's
2 years is 3 innings, 4 years is 6 innings.
I don't see that being the case.
I know.
It would take 7. He's gonna get over 1,000. I got a feeling he's gonna go past Pedro. Pedro is at 127, I believe it is. If he makes it to SummerSlam, it gives him the 1,700 days or 70 days. I'm sorry. Roman will probably get there, and it's well deserved. Roman is trying to. I see what they're trying to do. They are trying to elevate this entire roster by saying, if you want this, come get it. Step up to the plate and come get it. I get that. If Cody wouldn't have gotten hurt, Cody wins at WrestleMania. Cody getting hurt and taking all that time off for his injury and coming back so quickly hurt him, because during his injury, if he was in the ring, he probably would have gotten beat a few times. Cody hadn't got pinned since he got back. You knew he was going to get pinned.
Here's my take. If you're bitching and moaning about them that's the wrong word, Cody not winning, and then bitch about WWE being too predictable, you're wrong.
Exactly. I said from the moment he came back from the Rumble and he won it, now it's too predictable for him to win at the WrestleMania. It's happened too many times already. And the biggest thing, my biggest tangent is going to be, is it's time for people to face facts. You're not getting this short burst segments anymore. You're going to have to tune in and you're going to have to watch the product.
T-minus 2 minutes.
You're going to have to watch the product. You're going to have to pay attention. You're going to have to wait out stories. You may hate the story, but the story ain't over with yet. There's chapters to tell. Cody's story is not over. It's just going on to a new chapter. Now, was the chapter going to be him going for the belt again? Probably not. I think it's going to be him in Solo. But it's time to stop with the...
I think Cody does eventually get it. I think Cody eventually gets it.
It's time to stop with the, I want it this way. WWE's not fucking Burger King. It's not have it your way. If you want it your way, there's a video game called 2K23. Go book it yourself.
It's actually a pretty good game.
I can't stand it when they want it right now and right then and there. Let it brew. If a movie if you went to see a movie and it was over with within 15 minutes, you'd be pretty pissed. Granted, it's been 2 years with Roman. It's well deserved. He's deserved it. The story that the Bloodline's telling is one hell of a story. It takes you back to the 80s, where Macho Man and Hogan told a story for a whole year to build the WrestleMania 5. It's what makes wrestling fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's the task of who's going to challenge Roman next. Who's going to knock him off his
So
block?
another thing to all the fans out there, TJ, give me a sec.
It's a minute.
Just give me a sec.
minute.
Just give me a sec.
I wasn't that. I got one question.
To
for Brad.
all the fans that are bitching and saying they're not watching it anymore because Cody didn't win, are you really fans? Are you really
They're
still?
gonna watch. I'm gonna tell those fans
They're gonna
go
still
watch the other production tonight after Raw ends, and that's where you.
Well,
can
here's the
go,
thing:
because
are you
I
really
don't believe-
fans of Cody if you're like, oh, he didn't win? All right, I'm done.
Right, exactly. Go watch the other program if you don't.
And
like
then-
it.
that's
what
the
I'm gonna tell them.
That's the problem, is they're gonna say I'm not gonna watch it anymore, and there may be some to take a break, and that's all good and dandy. But most of them are still gonna tune in tonight and see what happens.
Okay, now
I'm done with it.
without saying too much, yes or no here. WWE Endeavor UFC, good move.
Wait. Can I ask Fry the rebuttal question?
Sure.
Because it goes with this. Is Roman the champion if the Endeavor news doesn't come out today?
That's a good thought. I think that makes sense with that going on. But it's better. I mean, yes. If the news doesn't come out, is Roman champ? Probably not.
They're going then, now, forever right now. So TJ, yes or no? Good move or bad move for WWE?
I think it's the only move forward, so absolutely good move.
Yeah, I'm curious because Triple H is still over creative. But now
That's the best part, and that was a point I read in one of the press releases.
I don't think
they
this,
wanted.
this,
They
I don't
wanted
think this
Hunter.
news relates to the purchase. I think this is going to be something different.
All right, everybody, peace out. Go
Bye.
watch Raw. We'll talk to you later.
That's where we're going.
Right to the Discord.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.